Now I thought this morning I would make up hash browns. Now if you've never had those before, they're absolutely scrummy. Now I'm going to be serving mine up with some sort of, you know, sausage, got bacon, tomato and eggs, and it all just comes together and makes a wonderful breakfast. So hash browns, cooked breakfast, delish. So for making up these hash browns, I'm just going to go through the ingredients I'm going to use. Now I've got my potatoes here. I've got sort of 3 potatoes, a couple of them are large, one's medium. Now I've chosen to use Maris Piper potatoes because I find those work really well, but you could use like russet potatoes, or in all honesty you could probably use most potatoes. Now what I'm going to do with the potatoes, peel them on the outside and then we're going to grate them. So you get like your cheese grater and grate all the potato. Once you've done that, you need to put them in a bowl, rinse them under cold water to get rid of the starch. So you change the water a few times. Once you've done that, drain them off. I'm going to put mine in like a tea towel, squeeze all the water out and try and dry them right off. So there's your potato. Now I've also got 1 egg, which we're going to crack, beat the egg. That's going to help kind of bind it all together. We've got some plain flour. Now there's actually a 1/4 cup measurement there. I weighed mine, it was roughly 35 grams of plain flour. Now I've got a shallot here, I've chosen to use that. Instead of a shallot, if you haven't got one of those, you could just use half an onion. Now, I'm chosen to use the shallot because I think it's just a little bit sweeter. Now what you want to do is peel that, and again, I'm going to grate mine down, but there's no reason you couldn't finely chop it if you prefer. And I've got a bit of salt and pepper seasoning because you do need to add that to make this taste good. So nice simple ingredients. Now what I'm going to do is get it all prepared. So going to sort of peel and grate the potatoes, beat the egg, and again grate the shallot. So now I've got it all prepared, what I'm going to do is get myself a bowl, put the potato in there, take it over the sink, and what we're going to do is just rinse it with cold water, change the water a number of times to try and remove as much starch as possible. Now with the potato, I've been rinsing mine off, I've changed it a number of times and tried to carefully just take the water out without losing the potato. So just going to drain most of that off. That'll do us. Now what I'm going to do next is grab a handful, squeeze it, again get some of that water out, and then I'm going to lay mine in a tea cloth. So let's get my tea cloth ready and a dry bowl. Now I've got my tea cloth at the ready. Now I'm just going to grab a handful of this and just give it a good squeeze, just to try and get initially some of the water out. Good hard squeeze if you can, and then we put that in there like that, and I'll do that with all the rest. So with the potato, look at that, lovely. Now all we need to do is obviously use a clean cloth because there's only going to be water going through it, and what you want to do is make it into a little bundle like that, and then you grab it, and as you twist, the water comes out. Now you need to twist it fairly hard, so give it a good twist. Try and get as much as you can out. I reckon that'll do us. Now let's open this up. I'll get my bowl. We'll just pop that in there like that. Lovely. So I've just come back over to the table. Now with that potato, this is fairly dry. You're not going to find a big puddle of water at the bottom of that bowl. Now it's important when you're doing that bit of, you know, getting that water out with a tea towel, squeeze it long and hard and just try and get as much water out as you can. One of the reasons is that when you're going to cook those in hot oil, if you've got too much water in there, it's going to be spitting oil all over you. So really try and, you know, get as much water out as you can. Now what we're going to do is start adding all the rest of the ingredients, and then, you know, you can sort of just, once they're all mixed up, they're ready to cook up. Now in the background I have switched on my grill, so it's your broiler, and I'm going to be cooking up some sausages, I've got some tomatoes, and I've got some bacon. So, you know, when I'm just about to start the cooking for the hash browns, I'm going to put me, you know, sausages and my tomatoes on first because they're going to take the longest. So let's start putting the rest of the ingredients into this. So might as well start with the shallots or half an onion if you're using that. And then we've got the flour. Just get that in there like that. Now I'm also going to season this. Now you do want to put a generous amount of seasoning if you want to make them taste good. Kind of brings them alive. Like that. Then we've got the egg. I've beaten the egg, so you know, just beat it with a fork. Like that. Get that all in there. And then what we can do next is, you know, really just kind of mix it all together. So just grab it however, a couple of spoons or something, and mix it around until you got it thoroughly mixed together. So I'll carry on doing that. So with that hash brown mixture, I just mix mine around for a minute or so. You just want to make sure everything gets nice and evenly coated. Now that mixture is ready to go over to the hob and get on with the cooking. Now the thing about hash browns, you want to serve them up straight away. So if you're going to cook anything else in the background like I am, you know, I'm going to be cooking some sausages here. Got nice thick sausages, and I'm going to cook some tomato, and I've also got some streaky bacon. So I'm going to put these under the grill, a medium high grill. I would say your sausages, you know, these are chunky ones, so at least 10 minutes, 12 minutes or so. You can always test it with a knife, make sure the juices run clear. Turn the sausages over to build a colour up, and then what I would say is, you know, halfway through cooking the sausages, you want to add your streaky bacon, you know, sit alongside so it all comes together. So roughly, this is all going to be cooked in about 12 minutes, I would say. And then when I've got them on the go, I'm going to go over and get on with hash browns. Now for that, using a frying pan, try and use a non-stick frying pan, and you want a reasonable amount of oil. That's it. I'd say a good 1/8 of an inch, that's about 3mm, roughly. Now switch that on. Just bring the heat up. I can feel the heat there, so I reckon we're just about ready to put some of that in. Now with the mixture, I'm just going to grab some, you know, whatever size you want to make yours. And I'm just going to pop that in like that. Just turn that heat up a little bit. Again, I think we can get more than one in there. Let's see how many we can get. I think we'll probably get 3. Now I'm just giving it a little squash down like that. And what you want to do really is cook for about 5 minutes each side, and you know, when you flip them over, just wait for about 5 minutes so that it's all nice and brown underneath, and when you flip it over it doesn't fall apart. So keep an eye on it. Okay, I'm just going to turn mine down a little bit. Now I'm just going to carefully check mine, see how it is. We'll lift it up, that looks good. Just wait a little bit longer with those, and then we'll flip those over as well. So now we flip those over, probably got about another 4 or 5 minutes to go. Don't forget to add your bacon with your sausages if you haven't done that. And in a moment, I'm also going to cook a fried egg. Now I'm just going to again check on this one here, see how we're doing under there. Looking good. Now I'm just going to flip that one over for 1 more minute, and these ones are pretty much done. Again, let me have a look at this one. Yeah, that looks good. Again, I'm just going to flip that over 1 more minute. I think I'll leave that one. That'll be nice on both sides then. So really 1 more minute, switch that off, and what we can do is just put it on a little bit of paper towel, paper tissue on a plate, and then we can go and get the rest of it ready and enjoy. Now I'm just going to quickly fry an egg with mine, won't take long. Again, put some oil in the pan. I mean, a lot of the time I actually use olive oil for cooking my eggs, it just gives it a nice flavour, but today I'm just using sunflower oil. I put a fair amount in because I like to flick the oil over the top of the egg so I don't have to flip it. So leave that, wait for it to come up, you know, fairly hot, medium heat. And then what we can do is just crack the egg. Like that. Try not to break it. Now that is not going to take very long at all. Just going to add a tiny little bit of salt in mine because it then goes into, you know, the whole egg. Turn the heat down a little bit so it's not spitting. And what we can do is just start
flicking the oil over the top. Like that. It just saves you having to, you know, flip the egg and it'll still be nice and soft inside. Now I'm going to turn that off. That's done. Just going to pull that out. Look at that egg, nice and soft inside. Put it on the plate. Go and serve it up and enjoy with the rest of it. So I've got my plate at the ready and I am just going to put one of these hash browns. I mean, to be honest, I just put mine just for about, well, a minute or two while I was cooking that egg. I just put that in the oven, switched off. So there is a delicious hash brown. Now I've also got my egg, which I'm going to put just there right next to it so it cracks and there's a bit of yolk comes out. I've also got these delicious sausages. Now these ones got black sausage tomato in there. I mean, I got them from the butcher's, really nice. And I've got a little bit of bacon as well. Oh yeah. Look at that, looking scrummy. And don't forget, I use this fork. Oh, be careful with that. Nice bit of tomato. Oh yeah. Now I'm going to try that. Yeah, let's try this little bit here. Oh yeah. Let's try that. That's lovely and crunchy. Oh, really nice. Soft in the middle like this egg. Look, beautiful. Give that a squeeze. Oh, delish. I don't know where to go next. I think I'm going to try it. Just a little bit of this sausage. Right, nicely cooked. Dip it in the egg. Add a bit of hash brown. Oh, what a combination. That is so good. I'm not going to torture you anymore because I think you've had enough, but I am just going to add a little bit of ketchup on mine. I'm going to go and sit down and enjoy that. But go and make yourself the hash browns, add the rest of it. It'll be a wonderful breakfast to have at the weekend or when you want to treat yourself. See you again soon. Don't forget the ratings, the comments, and you know, if you haven't subscribed, why not subscribe? I really appreciate that. See you again on the next one, The Original Naked Chef.